So I know you guys are all wondering how it went. So I'm going to take a little time today and give you a little bit more detail on the stuff that I learned through the fast and some decisions that I've made, and just overall share some stuff with you guys. I kept an actual blog during the fast as well as making my videos so that I could have my thoughts written down and so that I could easily remember some of the things that were important to me or that I was learning. So this past week I spent some time going back through those and reading what I wrote and stuff, and on the first day I wrote that my prayer was that if nothing else came out of the fast, then I would grow in my relationship with God. So it was pretty cool to see how I did grow in my relationship with God in such a short period of time. I also took a lot of time to do some reading while I was fasting, and a few things really stuck out to me and kind of pushed me in the direction to make some of the decisions that I made. So if you don't mind, I want to share some of those with you. And the first one is a little poem, and it's called A Prayer for Joy. Help me, O God, to listen to what it is that makes my heart glad, and to follow where it leads. May joy, not guilt, your voice, not the voice of others, your will, not my willfulness, be the guides that lead me to my vocation. Help me to unearth the passion of my heart that lay buried in my youth, and help me to go over that ground again and again until I can hold it in my hands, hold and treasure your calling on my life. The other one is actually from a poem by Robert Frost, but the last lines are the things that really stuck out to me, and I'm sure you're probably familiar with these. But it says, 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the road less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So I came across those, and I knew that a decision needed to be made as far as whether or not I would keep teaching. I knew that now I had to take the road that was less traveled by. And so I made a decision about a week and a half into the fast to not go back to teaching. I'm going to finish the year and everything, but next year I won't go back to it. So I also knew that I needed to tell my boss that, which was a really difficult conversation for me to have, but just talking to him about it and being completely honest and sharing with him my idea for the future as far as the plan that I have for families and people in this town. He was really, really supportive of the whole thing. And for those of you who don't know, my plan is to open an art studio and offer some family building type classes and things for teenage girls and just an overall positive place to hang out in this town. So he was really supportive of all of that and offered any type of help that he could give, and so just that was confirmation in itself that the idea of finishing my job is going to be easy enough because I have support inside the school, even though I'll be leaving it. So after that decision was made, my prayer focus kind of shifted from the idea of what I should do to how I should do it. So right now, God and I are still working through all of that. There's a lot that needs to happen in order for this place to open and for everything to come together. And I know that it will, just in God's time. So what's even more amazing after that, I kept reading things in the Bible, and basically everything was revolving around asking God with boldness to do what it is on your heart and how much that He will provide for you, and He will give you whatever it is that you need. And that was the thing that I exactly needed to be reading too, because there's no way that I can do this on my own. I need God to show up big time. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. They are plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope." So my experience fasting has given me a new hope, a hope that I haven't had in a very, very long time. God has given me the wisdom that I've asked for. He didn't give it to me in the way that I would have thought at all, and of course He didn't, because that's just the way that God works. We'll never be able to figure Him out. But most importantly, I did what I asked for on the first day. I grew in my relationship with God, and really that is the most important aspect of the fast. So there you have it. If you want more detail, you can come talk to me later. But thank you so much for always listening to what I've had to say and for being so supportive of me.